Grace Kelly, also known as Princess Grace of Monaco, is one of the greatest fashion icons of the 20th century and really one of the most beautiful women who's ever lived. Don't you agree? I mean, truly, her glamorous, sophisticated style is still copied by many present-day celebrities decades after her death. Well, my next guest knows all about Grace Kelly because her mom was one of Princess Grace's closest friends. She served as one of her bridesmaids when Princess Grace married Prince Ranier. Princess Grace was godmother to our next guest's sister. And after that fairy tale wedding, Princess Grace's life was full of glitz and glamour, but the life of her close friend took a very different turn. Watch this. For the last 5 years, Nyna Giles has been filling in the cracks from a fractured childhood, carefully combing through hundreds of photos and magazine covers to rekindle her mother's glamorous past.
She was an incredibly good model. She was really good at what she did.
For Nyna, these pictures show her mother, Carolyn Scott, at her during a time when she was a Ford model living in New York City in the 1950s.
I have over 80 magazines and over 450 images of her. And I didn't know about that growing up. I didn't really know the extent of her career. I knew she was very successful, but I had only seen a few photos.
But on top of her modeling career, she was also known for her close friendship to American actress Grace Kelly.
She went to the Barbizon Hotel, and that's where she met Grace Kelly very early on. And they kept running into each other, and then they realized they were actually living next door to one another. And so they became very, very close friends.
In 1956, Kelly married Prince Ranier III of Monaco, a wedding that captivated the world.
Now, in the eyes of Mother Church as well as of the law, Prince Ranier and Princess Grace were man and wife.
And right by Kelly's side was her close friend, Carolyn Scott. But what the pictures don't show is a woman whose life suddenly took a dark turn after she moved to the suburbs and became a mother.
She was a small-town girl who made it big. So she was used to living in a small town or living in a big city. And living in a suburb on Long Island was very different, very isolated for her.
That isolation was coupled with unusual outbursts.
I remember being very young and her coming into my room and ripping down my cat posters. I had cat posters all over the wall in my room. And I remember crying and telling her to stop.
In 1985, doctors initially diagnosed Carolyn with schizophrenia, but Carolyn refused to get help from her family and hid her condition from the outside world.
She wouldn't listen to reason, and that's not unusual. Somebody who's mentally ill and doesn't know they're mentally ill, it's very common for them to refuse treatment. And I remember hearing the phrase, if she's not a danger to herself or someone else, there's nothing we can do.
Then, 4 years later, everything changed. Joining me now, Nyna Giles, author of The Bridesmaid's Daughter. Welcome to you, Nyna. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We saw in that piece we did, it ended on a shot of a tabloid,
yes.
Remarking on how one of Princess Grace's bridesmaids wound up homeless, which came as a stunning development to folks who followed Princess Grace and those around her. Was it stunning to you?
Well, for me, it was a shock because it was our family's private ordeal made public. You know, I was never out of touch with my mother, so I knew where she was, but much of her family didn't know what was happening at that time.
You saw the deterioration.
Yes.
So how was it? How was it that this woman who was in the circles of royalty at the Barbizon Hotel and top model winds up homeless?
Well, it happened over a long period of time. I believe she suffered with postpartum psychosis after I was born. And so it was a gradual thing where she just became more and more ill because she was never treated. And, you know, it's important for people to know postpartum psychosis is not postpartum depression, not severe postpartum depression. So she struggled, and I was isolated with her growing up. She kept me out of school for most of elementary school. And, you know, in those days, people didn't talk about mental illness, and she didn't get the treatment that she needed. The tragedy of this is that if she had been treated, you know, it was diagnosable and treatable.
But maybe she wouldn't have had to go through it, and maybe you wouldn't have had to go through it. The way she was with respect to your illness, anything that happened to you or your sister, was out of proportion to the risks of those illnesses. It wasn't Munchausen's where she made you sick.
No.
It was what? Extreme overreaction to
Well, I
illness?
believe with the postpartum psychosis, there was also some OCD and some hypochondriasis. So those tendencies were
What's that?
exacerbated by the postpartum
You mean
psychosis.
she's a hypochondriac? That's what you're saying. Hypochondriasis.
Yeah, the illnesses were big. And I was fine. I wasn't sick, but she would overreact. And the same thing happened with my sisters. Anything. If I said I had a stomach ache, she would take me to a gastroenterologist. If, I said, I can feel my heart beating, she would take me to a cardiologist. Mm-hmm. And they were because of her delusions.
And as this is going on, for a lot of it, she was still in touch with Princess Grace. Princess Grace was a part of your lives, your lives. When we come back, we're going to find out how Nyna learned about her mother's relationship with Grace Kelly and then the misdiagnosis that altered the course of her life. And we're back now with Nyna Giles. Her mother, Carolyn, had a front row seat to history as a bridesmaid in Grace Kelly's wedding to Prince Ranier of Monaco. But Nyna's mother's life then descended into mental illness and then homelessness. So she was diagnosed first with schizophrenia.
Yes, the first time I heard a diagnosis was in 1985, and she was admitted to the Kings County Psychiatric Hospital, and the doctor called me and gave me that diagnosis.
And how did you get from thinking that was it to postpartum psychosis?
Well, while I was researching the book, my co-author and I were very frustrated because it didn't really fit, because she didn't become ill until after I was born. And I could see the difference in her in pictures. So I started to research, and I wanted to meet with the foremost expert on schizophrenia. So I was lucky enough to meet with Dr. Jeffrey Lieberman at Columbia and, shared the story. And in discussing it, we felt that she was misdiagnosed because the diagnosis of postpartum psychosis, with that, all the puzzle pieces fit.
How does that explain the behavior versus postpartum depression, which we hear more about?
They're two completely different things, and it's really important for people to understand. So postpartum psychosis is not severe postpartum depression. 1 in 4 women will experience a postpartum condition, but postpartum psychosis is the worst, this most severe.
Mm-hmm. So your mom wound up going from sort of homeless shelter to homeless shelter. Mm-hmm. You wind up trying to help in any way you can by paying a diner to feed her.
Yes, because she wouldn't, somebody that's that ill, she was sick in her mind. She wasn't able to make good decisions or take care of herself.
Was she, at that time, still in contact with Princess Grace?
Well, no, because Princess Grace died in 1982.
Okay.
So, yeah, that happened after.
But the friendship maintained, well beyond the wedding.
Yes, they continued to write letters until her death. Mm-hmm.
When you look back at those pictures, of
Yes.
your mom when she was modeling and the pictures of her in Monaco at that unbelievable affair, it was the biggest thing of the 20th century, biggest wedding of the 20th century after Princess Diana and Prince Charles. What do you want people to know about that woman versus the one we saw characterized on those tabloid headlines?
I want them to know that she was a beautiful, kind, incredible human being whose life was destroyed by untreated mental illness. And she should not be remembered by a tabloid cover. She should be remembered for those beautiful pictures.
It happens too often that mental illness either goes undiagnosed or even in 2018 America, ignored because of stigma or shame, which should not attach to that disease, same as it wouldn't attach to cancer or any other. Nyna, thank you for telling her story.
Thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.